Okay, guys, I didn't know I got cut off again. Anyway, to finish this problem, to find the other angle, we can just subtract 180 from that angle, right? Because we know using logic, it has to be the supplement of that angle. And we are going to get 180 minus the answer, 162.5423 or 240 if we round, right? To 5 decimal places. So it's 162.54240 degrees. Okay. Those are the two angles that give us a sine of 0.3. We were pretty close in our approximation on our graph. Okay. If we had some really huge unit circle and some really big protractor and ruler, we could probably get a lot closer to the 17.5, right? By having a better, but on this small screen, on this small paper, it's a little bit hard to be that precise. Okay. So I'm going to do one more question here. And this time we're going to do the sine of negative 0.3. Okay. So remember, the sine of negative 0.3, again, if we do all students take calculus, which helps us remember where they are positive, all of them are positive here, so it's not going to be negative there. Sine is positive here, so it's not going to be negative there. This is where the tangent's the only one that's positive, and this is where the cosine is the only one that's positive. So the sine is negative below the x-axis, which should make sense, right? The sine is negative here because that's where you have to go on a negative y value right below the x-axis. So remember, the sine is the y value. So now I'm going to try to find where the sine is 0.3. It's somewhere like there and somewhere like there, right? We've got some angle cutting through here. Well, I didn't like that. Got some angle cutting through here, and we got some angle cutting through here. We're talking about this angle, right, all the way there, and we're talking about this angle all the way over there. Let me use a different color. That orange angle, and then we're talking about this multicolored angle. Okay, we need those two angles. Those are going to be our answers. Okay, so I approximated where I'm going to get negative 0.3 for my y value, right? This is about negative 0.3 for my y value, and it's going to touch my unit circle at those two places. Okay. Now let's go back up to our big unit circle and see if this makes sense. Where is negative 0.3 on the y value? Remember, we're looking for the sine. The sine is the y value. And I've got a nice dotted line over here that meets it right here. And a nice dotted line that meets it right here. This is where sine is equal to negative 0.3. Okay. Now, we're gonna draw our line. Let me do it in green. Actually, let me erase this other stuff. Okay. Don't need it right now. And we're going to make a line, but we're going to do it with green from our origin, right? We always start here, right? And we're going to measure all the way to this point right here, right? So we got to draw a line where the terminal side goes right here. Okay. So I want to measure. That didn't become a straight line. I'm still learning how to do this. Sorry about that. Straight line from here to here. It's pretty precise, right? Okay, so there's the angle I want. That's the first angle I want. And really, we've got to measure, this is 180 plus this little part. You might be guessing what it is, right? So there's 0. If I measure this way, what do I get? Well, you see, we came up with 17.5 the other time. This protractor is not that precise because I'm getting, when I'm on that side, it's 17. When I'm on this side, it's 18. You guys see what's happening? If I'm just a little bit, yeah, it's looking closer to 17 this time, right? But again, if I go just on the other side, that's why that's 17.5 is a good approximation. But I'm going to write down 17 this time just for the hell of it, right? Got 17 degrees, but that's added to the 180, right? So now, and then of course this side, it's funny how the protractor is measuring, like this digital protractor is measuring the angle with the x-axis. I told you how important that was. That's the reference angle. And again, we got 17 this time. Okay. Now, it's the same angle. It should be about 18 or 17, which is why we're getting 17 on one and 18 on the other. We're approximating here, right? But I'm going to go here and see that this is 18 degrees here inside plus the 180, right? 180 plus 18 is approximately 198, right? 198 degrees. Well, it was 17 is what I found this time, right? I should not cheat. 17 degrees. And then if that's 17 degrees again, if this is 17 degrees, then what is this angle from here all the way around? Okay, it's almost a full circle. 360 minus the 17, right? So what is that one? 360 minus 17, 343. Okay, I could have used my workspace here, 360 minus 17, so 343. I'm beginning to really like this tablet. I'm getting a little bit better at writing here. Sorry, it's a little tough at first. Okay, find the two solutions using the sine graph. So now we're going to go back up. See where the sine is equal to negative 0.3 on the graph of sine. So remember what we did there. Now we're looking for where the sine is negative 0.3, right? Negative 0.3 is somewhere in there. Let me see if I can draw a straight line across at negative 0.3. That's not working. Now I forgot to make my line tool, right? See, it doesn't put it exactly where I want. When I do put it where I want, I'm not making a line. Sorry about this, guys. Making a line, starting from here. Ugh, really don't like this, why it's doing that. Anyway, 0.3 is halfway in between here. Trying to see where it crosses that green line, right? It crosses the green line a little bit before 200. You guys see that? A little bit before 200. And this one is a little bit past 340, right? You guys see that? If I had to approximate, I would probably say it's, a couple degrees before 200. I'd probably say 198 for the x value, which is the angle that I'm plugging in the sine. This one is probably 342, right? Just approximating based on my graph. So we had 198 and 342. Again, these numbers should be close, and indeed they are, right? I was just approximating based on the graph. Are they close? Yeah, they're pretty close. And then you could do the rest. Sine of negative 0.3. I've only got so much time left on this video. I'd like to get this done. How do we get sine equal to negative 0.3? We do inverse sine of negative 0.3, and we get negative 17 degrees. Okay, I'm going to make another video because this one's about finished describing what's happening here.